I get your point, but let's bring the governor back to specifics, because this exercise is guided by records. So, Governor, having said all that and all the initiatives you're taking, go to your statement of receipts and disbursements. How then do you explain that fiscal planning and development has dropped by 50%? Revenue from fiscal planning and development.
Chair, maybe.
The statement of the Auditor General, there is
the receivable revenue statement,
yeah.
Your statement of receipts and disbursements for the year ended 30th June 2024.
Which it is immediately after page 9 of that report.
You have a statement there that shows your own source revenue streams, and if you go down to fiscal planning and development, that is 10, not 10.
Yes.
You collected 4.9 million prior year, and that year you collected 2.5 million. Where did 2.4 million go? Because if you are doing all those things you are saying, then there should be natural growth. Can someone help the governor to be?
Yes, I'm trying to talk to
Can you allow the governor to assess the document?
I'm talking to Chief Officer in charge just to explain to me.
You see, Governor, that exercise you are conducting now, you should already have done it, because you should have visibility on the revenue performance every financial year.
Yes.
So if you have brought numbers that show a 50% decline, this is in the 2023-2024 financial year, you should have already asked for an explanation from your chief officer. You can't do that exercise now, because if you are seeing these numbers for the first time with us here,
no, Chair,
it's very unfortunate.
No, I've seen some of these numbers, but Chair, maybe the details, I just need them to jog my memory.
When you saw them, you didn't ask them.
Yeah. Huh?
When you saw those numbers for the first time, you are not as shocked as the
I'm just trying to jog my mind, Chair.
Okay, Governor.
Jog my memory, because I...
Yeah. Because you gave the global picture as a CEO. Now we want to go to specifics, so that we are able to tell whether your global vision is accompanied by action.
Chair.
A little bit of time to check.
No, Chair. If the governor feels that he might not be able to respond adequately,
yes,
he can pass it on to the chief officer to fast track the process.
That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, Chair. But you are holding a meeting within a meeting, which is not...
Okay, who has the answers? Because remember, this is money collected from the residents of Busia. And if the money collected from residents of Busia cannot be accounted for, then we are not sure about the money that comes from the consolidated fund.
Chair, and the governor should be aware that he's on oath. So if the governor is not ready, he can also tell us, so that we take a view. Because if he's holding a meeting within a meeting, or if he thinks that the answers are with the chief officer, and then chief officer should take the oath. Or we interrogate any problem or through the oath of the governor.
Okay, members, since today we are sitting in Busia, we can extend a little bit of clemency to the governor of Busia. But that does not absolve you. You must explain to us why there is a drop.
I'm going to do that once I get, maybe just give me a little bit of time. As we move to another matter, then we can revisit.
Okay, the second matter, honorable members, the second matter, go to the line on parking fees. Governor, note 5. Your parking fees have reduced from 31 million to 29 million. You have given us your global picture, the measures you're taking. How then are we seeing a drop in parking fees? Remember, this is money collected from the people of Busia. Are we collecting and pocketing money? Because these are the symptoms.
Chair,
Senator Wambua?
Chair, you have said that we should extend a bit of our clemency to the governor, which is fine. We'll be guided by your direction. My only fear,
Senator Wambua.
my only fear, Chair, is that from the kind of consultation that I'm seeing happening there is a likelihood that the governor is perhaps seeing these figures for the first time. Because the questions that they're asking themselves and the questions that we're asking, we are all asking the same questions. We're asking them what happened, and the governor is asking his people what happened. So, Chair, that clemency is fine, but please give us guidance on how to deal with it.
Okay, clemency does not mean shielding the governor. He still has to answer. Governor, you have an answer to
Chair,
that
let
line?
me ask my former CEC Finance to answer because she was there when this was happening.
Thank you, Chair. I would want to respond on that issue of reduction in the parking fee because, Chair, before we had a place which we were using as parking, the parking place at the border called One Stop Border. So before we were collecting fee of parking fees from there, but when the KRA took over that place, we could now not use it as the parking place, and therefore the people of trucks could not pay the parking fee because they were no longer using that place.
Okay, hold on to that. Go to note 8, hospital fees, from 153 million to 119 million. Why are you handing back the microphone? Oh, that one is not yours. Okay, Governor, it's been brought back to you. Hospital fees has dropped from 153 million to 119 million.
Chair, we have had a lot of industrial unrest in the county here, and this has really affected our service delivery in the health sector, and is one area that we have been trying to address, some of them even historical issues of arrears, some of them issues of promotion, the normal challenges that we are having in the health sector. So that year, we have had quite a bit of challenges in that area.
Is that, Governor, the good thing is that you have been in Parliament.
Yes.
You've been in Cabinet.
Yes.
And you have sat in some of these committees. If a question is put to you on a matter that involves figures, the explanation should also be quantitative, not qualitative.
Okay.
Because if that were to be the case, then you would then come and demonstrate to us, even from the notes, how that happened. Now, for us to be asking these questions, and for you to be asking these questions from your officer,
Yes.
could tell you that there could be something that you need to improve when it comes to your the governance arrangements around revenue. The officer you had referred to, the one who has just answered the last question, what is their role?
That was the Chief Officer Finance before. CCC Finance before, and I think they were aware of the incidences that were happening. That's why she told me that she's aware of what happened at that time. But she's no longer the CC Finance.
No, I don't know, Senator Chirarke, you had made some observation with regards to that. Please proceed.
Yeah, I think it casts the integrity of the signing off of these statements of disbursement, especially on county unsourced revenue. Because if you are saying Top Eastern Naiti Wanyama was the CC Finance, how comes she was the county receiver of revenue, contravening Public Finance and Management Act Section 157? Why was she Honorable Top Eastern Naita Wanyama was county receiver of revenue, contravening Section 157 and its regulations of the PMF Act? So, and the law is very clear, Governor. Would that be the reason that you moved her?
Chair.
No, perhaps this question, I don't want the officer to be the one responding.
Yes.
I
it's
want the governor
yes,
to tell us who was your receiver of revenue in this financial year.
Chair, I feel like we will lose the parking thing. There's an explanation there that they can complete, then we move to the designated receiver of revenue. Because if you look at note 5 that explains the parking fees, the officer who responded, it makes sense when you say once the trailer park was closed, 2022-2023, you had 26 million from the trailer park fees, and it dropped to 3.49 million. Now, explain to me how the one for bus park moved from 2 million to 20 million. What special magic did you play?
Governor?
Did you build new bus parks? Was there a new road that was opened through Busia to I don't know where that more buses were parked? What is the explanation for that? For the reverse growth in revenue?
By how many percent?
Through the chair, I think one of the measures that we took when we took over was to try and identify all the revenue collection points. And the number of collection points that we introduced along the ways that initially we were not collecting. That's what enabled us to be able to...
Are you looking at the numbers that Senator Sifuna cited? Are you looking at that note?
Note 5.
So that you know what you're responding to? We don't want theories. This is an exercise that is guided by evidence.
Yeah, because to me, Chair, the explanation on ceding the collection of the trailer parks to KRA would demonstrate or explain why it moves from 26 million to 3 million. Now, with the same logic, what did you do to move your bus park from 2 million to 20 million?
That's 18 million.
What is the explanation?
Thank you, Chair. When we came in, you can see overall, the revenue from 22-23 to 23-24 improved. So what happened, that revenue, it was on an improved basis. We combined the parking, the bus parking, with the small car, the single vehicle parking. We combined them together, and there is when the auditors came, they corrected us that we should separate those two revenue streams. So we separated, but by then we just improved it, combined with the car parking that improved that from the previous one. And that is the reason why overall the revenue increased.
Yeah.
Senator Wambua?
You have totally lost me.
Chair. Yeah.
No, that one will deal with, that one will come. Senator Wambua?
Chair, I don't know about Senator Sifuna, but I feel that question has been responded to because the question was very direct. An improvement from 2 million to 20 million. Now, the reference you're making is even a very erroneous reference because you're saying overall there was an improvement year to year. But when you look at the improvement they're talking about, it's less than 2 million. One is 355 for 2022-23, and the other one is 357. I mean, the very marginal improvement. The question that Senator Sifuna is asking is this jump from 2 million to 20 million. Why is it so difficult to respond to that?
Governor, before we get back to Senator Cherargei, because there's an attempt to, there are many statements made on parking fees, statements made on hospital fees, none made on fiscal planning fees, because fiscal planning fees, nothing has been offered so far. Yeah. And the question is, assuming, Governor, assuming Madam Wanyama was to move to Kisumu or another county and she was not in the room, who else would be able to explain these numbers? Why are they not making an attempt? Because it now sounds personalized.
It's not personalized. I think maybe just being part of the team, and you can see she's the one who signed this document, she may be having a better institutional memory than
and
maybe some of them.
we are coming to that. We are
Yes.
coming to that. Any attempt to explain physical planning drop? Because physical planning, we know what happens in counties, is that your officers, they move around, they collect money from developers, and then that money never gets to the county. You know, theft is theft, but there's usually a feeling that when you steal from your constituents, it's a bigger theft than when you're stealing from Nairobi. Lakini yote ni wizi.
Chair, I think something is very interesting.
Senator Gata?
Because it seems that we are actually seeing the same document at the same time. The way we are seeing documents the same way that the entire team is seeing the same document. I don't know whether they are prepared for the team, the committee. Because nobody seems to have any answer to any of the questions that have been posed around.
So Governor, because I said we are in your county, it's not that I fear you lock us in here, but even though you have that reputation, but but I think that's off the record.
I think Chair, Senator
Give us
Sifuna is
explanations.
Chair, Senator Sifuna is a witness to such. So
No, that's on a very light note. I think let's come back.
Chair, I can confirm that the last time I was in Busia, we had a very good time in Funyula. There was a big bash and we all left.
Thank you.
So I don't know what Gerard Gay is talking about.
Now, tell us, Governor, what is happening in physical planning and development? This is a clear revenue stream. This one you can't tell us about KRA, about what. These ones, people building plan approvals, small things that your officers go around checking. If you are building without an approval, they shut you down. How can it drop? Someone is stealing from the people of Busia. This cannot be industrial action by nurses. This, I think you have exhausted your list of excuses.
Thank you, Chair, before he
Senator
goes.
Wambua?
Before he goes. You know, Chair, there's a question that, that you always ask when we are beginning these interrogations. I hear you asking our Secretariat whether they receive these documents and they are ready to engage. I hear you asking the auditors whether they are ready to engage. Chair, is it time that you begin asking the entities if they are ready to engage? Because clearly there is a problem. Clearly there is a problem.
Honorable Chair, on the issue of physical planning.
Please, for Hansard purposes, name and designation.
Wanjala Vincent, Chief Officer Lands, Survey and Housing.
Proceed.
The issue of physical planning is not a constant factor in collection. It depends on other factors in the economy, as availability of disposable income of the communities around. So when people have easily available disposable income, many of them will
That is a lecture in economics. Can you address yourself to that drop
So
of 2.4 million?
Our collection as in the Department of Physical Planning, we collect from those ones who have come to approve their plans. So that year, the number of those ones coming for approvals had reduced. And so explains.
So they come, you don't go out to enforce.
We
You
also
have
go to
enforcement
enforce,
officers.
but when you don't find them in the field constructing, there's nobody who can come and comply.
What's so unique with that year? What was happening in Busia in that year that people are not constructing?
We are feeling like their disposable income was lower.
But that would reflect generally across the board, because on-source revenue is a reflection of economic activity within an entity. That is a story. That is not an explanation. I think let's come back, because time, we must take a decision. My colleagues are asking whether the county is prepared, but I think there was adequate notice. We must proceed with this exercise, as painful as it is. Senator Cherargei has raised a very important question, which we must address. Who was your receiver of revenue during that period? Because this is a report of the receiver of revenue.
Chair is CC Finance, and maybe she can explain herself.
Does it need I don't think it needs an explanation.
Yes.
What explanation would be required if this is a report of the receiver of revenue?